fleeting moments into eternal chills. A master of Gothic atmosphere and razor-sharp flash fiction, she blends beauty and dread in equal measure. Her collection, Tiny Shivers, proves that even the shortest stories can leave the deepest scars. Step into her shadows if you dare.
It's dark.
Yeah, we had music.
It's weird because like we have music, but like the visual doesn't go away. Like so, we're just sitting here while the music plays. Like it's weird.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's a little strange.
We'll get used to it. I'm sure of it.
Hopefully, we'll get the thingy back. Honestly, I kind of like not having the little thingy, but it's.
I kind of like not having the little thingy, but I want to make the audio as professional sounding as possible.
So. Yeah, but then they hear like really super, like a really cool intro, and then you hear like a professional sounding theme, and then I speak, and the professionalism goes way out the window. It just shatters and disappears like into the ether. It breaks into tiny shivers, you know. Just see what I try to do.
Sure. See what you did there. Okay. Hey, aspiring horror authors, it's another episode of Sako and the Moon.
That's me.
By two self-published horror authors walking the path of horror craft and marketing. I am dark artist, designer Sako Toomey, but I also write horror under the name Cass Voight. Sorry.
She knows her name, I promise.
I do a bunch of other things, but for this, I'll just mention that I'm published 4 times over. That's 3 standalones, and I'm featured in an award-nominated anthology. And I'm working on a couple of books and a serial. I've been working on I've been working on my craft for decades, and now I'd like to share my skills with you guys.
I, of course, am Dwan L. Hearn, more affectionately known as the Moon, and the pain in Sako's ass. I write stuff, I film stuff, and I talk to people. And if you guys haven't figured it out, like I love picking on Sako because she's a great co-host. She's a fantastic producer. She gets everything so like posh and lined up and such. I have to throw a wrench into the mix. I have to keep her on her toes. Somebody has to. And
I appreciate that, frankly.
I love you. This is what I do. It's what I do best.
Yeah.
I am known as the harbinger of chaos for a reason. I have to earn my title.
My dear friend Laura Nettles is a horror author that specializes in Gothic horror and horror flash. Her day job is lighting for film. We're going to pick her brain a little today. Hello, Laura.
Hello.
Oh, we're picking brains. My chopsticks are in the wash. I'm sorry. I was going to use a chopstick to get in there, but I'm so sorry.
Well, you
know. Maybe next time.
Next time, I'll have the chopsticks ready.
Okay.
Did you leave it at the mummification table?
Did
you leave it at the mummification table to scramble the brains?
Yeah. Well, see, I have this spoon here.
Oh.
But it's an ink pen.
I took up my spoon. It's not as cool as that spoon. That spoon's pretty cool.
Yeah, it came in a journal with Fruit Loops because you do a cereal, and so I that's not even a joke. Like it really was like a Fruit Loops like journal.
Uh-huh.
It has a spoon, ink pen to go with it.
So. That's so cool.
Five Below, like that serious. Like I know none of this sounds like horrorcraft to anyone, but I promise it will get more professional. It's early in the morning. It's October. It's the great month of October. This is a horror channel. We're having a good time. We have a fantastic guest with us today. She's already had a pretty dope intro. So let's just say hi to Laura. What's up?
Hi.
How's your October so far?
Well, it's been October for about 8 hours now. So
pretty good.
Good.
For me, it's been October for like an entire 30 days. Like I reclaimed September on behalf of October. So it's been It's been October for a minute for me. But this is like our hot time. Like Sako has all the really cool questions, so I'm just asking all the BS filler. That's what I'm doing.
I see.
Okay, so do we want to get into the cool questions?
All right. We can be professional now.
I guess we could go into it. You have a background in visual effects. How does the cinematic lens influence the way that you write horror, especially Gothic settings and atmosphere?
So for my visual effects background, I would light the visual effects for the movies. So they had already filmed the actors and everything, and I was lighting the CG that would go on top or behind or whatever. So my specialty is light. And also, I was a bit nerdy, and I would watch a ton of movies and like screenshot my way through them and analyze the lighting and do little storyboard thumbnails and stuff like that. So like I love the slash light across the eyes, all that kind of things. So when I will start writing, a lot of times in my brain I'm like, okay, what's the light doing? So it's like, how can I get the light to glint off the monster's teeth while keeping the rest of him in shadow? Kind of thing. So it's a lot of trying to figure out what I want to reveal, what I want to keep murky, how do I want to set the tone and the atmosphere? Are there gas lamps that are illuminating some of the fog while the rest is in shadows? That type of thing. So I just love setting the atmosphere with the virtual in like on the page, how I describe the lighting.
That's fantastic. That's amazing. What draws you to Gothic horror specifically, and how do you put a modern spin on such a historically rooted genre?
So I flippin' love the Gothic. I love the dread and the atmosphere, the melancholy and the decay. I love the monsters that are in there, like the vampiric, like the Carmillas kind of thing. I just love how it's people exploring emotions, and it doesn't have to have a happy ending. It's because, like, happy endings are not guaranteed in life. And so I like how it can explore how the emotions, like it focuses on the emotions, how they're poignant and not over the top, not quite melodramatic, but they are front and center. And it's also very atmospheric, and a lot of times the atmosphere is reflective of the person's emotions. So that's I love the Gothic. To modernize it, I guess I will make sure that the thing that the person is dreading has more of a physical presence nowadays, instead of just being alluded to and actually like interact with the story. Like I think it's the Haunted Hill House. There is like the only supernatural thing that really happens that the character sees is like the door bend. So like I have the supernatural and the spook have more of a physical presence. Yeah, a lot of LGBT representation in it, but that's been going on since the dawn of Gothic.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one thing that draws me to it a lot.
That's something I didn't take into consideration, was the LGBT representation in Gothic horror.
Yeah,
I kind of just notice it in everything, really. We go. It's one of those things that now it has a label, so now people can like, grasp it either to represent themselves or to lash out on it. But it's existed forever. It's been in everything, and we see it in everything. We have like robots, which are technically gender neutral. We have things like Lestat and Louis, like they were lovers for a while, and that was in 91. And I love all things vampire are Gothic horror to me. So, but like the idea that a vampire would try to seduce literally anyone, I mean, that's bisexuality, if you want to call it that. I mean, you can look at it in many kind of ways. Like these things have always existed.
Yeah.
But people just didn't look at it that way. We accepted it for so long. Now everyone's got a label on it, so now everyone's kind of grasping to it. But ladies and gentlemen, it's been here forever. It's not going away.
I think that the representation in a lot of the earlier ones were trying to make the pansexual or the whatever vampire is the ultimate monster that needs to be slain. But I think nowadays a lot of us connect with the vampire, and whatever creature or person in the story is the LGBTQ representation. And so a lot of times it's more connecting with them instead of trying to slay them. And I really connect with that because of my religious upbringing, just trying to repress all of that and like seeing it as monstrous and now trying to embrace it. I really connect with the Gothic in that way.
Oh, that's a interesting way of coming at it, I think.
I mean, I agree with it completely. As someone raised in the church, I raised Christian, I didn't have as much of a like condemning of anything, but it was still the lessons that were kind of taught. It was kind of the things you were given. But I understand the need to be like, hey, don't look at it this way. Don't look at it like this. Represent it this way. Let's look at the same thing through a new lens. And I love that a lot of modern horror is doing that in a lot of different aspects to things that have been demonized or criminalized or things like that.
Yeah, they've also taken certain like they've taken the vampire and it can represent more than just an LGBTQ person. Like in Sinners in the movie, like
no spoilers. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, yeah, it's so good. So
no spoilers.
Oh, it was just a great representation of a new take on vampirism for me.
That's what I've heard. I want to go into Sinners with as little as possible, but I know there's vampires. There's that one clip from that one scene that went around where that lady was talking to that guy. We're not going to talk about that here. It's not that kind of show yet. But you never know. I'm here. So, but I love what people can do with vampires. And we had Dan and Eva from Vamp Chat on the show a few weeks ago, and there's something about vampires in particular that just allows you to mold a vampire to do anything, represent anything, display anything, confront anything. Something malleable about vampires. What do you think that is exactly that makes the vampire such a unique, I won't say monster or I'll say creature. The vampire is a unique creature that it can, wear all those hats and do all those things.
Yeah. So vampires are my favorite.
Mine too.
Well, my absolute favorite is Frankenstein's monster, but there's like only one of him. Well, besides the bride. And then there's all these vampires. So vampirism for me is so interesting to delve into in the Gothic because you can have multiple reasons that the vampirism like it can be a human that was turned Nosferatu style. It could be vampires are born like Helsing style, the movie. Like there's so many different takes that you can go, and there is a history of vampiristic fear in our actual history of like people being terrified that their relatives would rise from the dead and come after them, ravage the town. And so like it has that folklore root of people being terrified of their blood being drunk, and then you have like it's just morphed, and people have taken what resonates with them, left what doesn't, and it's so malleable because it can be
there's a lot of lore.
It can be the most monstrous monster that has to be slain, or it could be somebody who you actually feel for, like Louis in Interview with a Vampire. So it can take on whatever mask you need it to help you tell your story. Whatever aspect of vampirism you're interested in world building. So I love it so much.
Excuse me. You've mastered Flash and microfiction. How do you balance Gothic Horror's slow burn mood with the brevity of short formats?
So I with my drabbles, they're 100 words exactly. So that's a tough thing for Gothic.
It's a tough thing for Gothic, yeah.
Yeah. What I like to do is focus on a single moment, allude to what led up to this important moment that we need to see, and then leave the rest up to the imagination. So set it up for what is to come and let the imagination do the rest. So it's kind of like we're just seeing a wisp of candle smoke. We're just going in, seeing a little bit of turmoil and leaving. So that's my drabbles.
That is so hard.
That is really hard.
Like, not even just the style of trying to do, like, to do a story in 100 words is impossible for me. I've tried.
It's so fun. It really is.
That hurts my face to even think about the last. I mean, I wrote a good story out of it because I just gave up on the word limit and just kept writing.
There you go.
The idea
but to take something that is moody. There's one thing that defines Gothic horror in my eye is, like, kind of like you said before, it's a moody genre. It's a moody subgenre. You know, there's a lot of vibe and feeling and energy that kind of goes and has to be portrayed in one way or another. Whether it's in writing and with our word choices, or like when you do in film with the lighting and the darkness and the tone. How do you, like, if you were going to give our viewers here a micro crash course, call it a flash fiction crash course on how to do flash fiction?
You know what? I'm going to promote Laura here a little bit. On her website, she has a blog. And on that blog are like 200, 300 prompts. Can you confirm or deny that?
It's 200.
It's 200?
I think. I'm not sure anymore.
So there's a lot. We'll go with
there's a lot. And I've saved off a bunch of them. And I love using that prompt list to write Flash.
Let me reframe my question then. So I'm assuming that some of these prompts that you have available on your website will help our viewers work on flash fiction. How is that? Walk me through that. If I was to, after the end of this show, if I wanted to go to your website and practice my flash fiction, which I kind of do, walk me through. What do I need to do? Where do I need to go, and what do I need to do?
So there is a section, the blog part of the website, which has
and that site is
lauranettles.com.
Of course.
Surprise.
Yeah. So there are prompts that are basically just a sentence or two setting up a scene or a scenario. Like, you're in the attic, you stumble across a box of tapes, and you're surprised by what's in them, kind of thing. So
that feels so insidious.
I know.
Which can be any length.
It was sinister,
right?
Yeah, it was sinister. See, I get those movies always get those movies mixed up.
But then I have a YouTube video I did on how to write flash fiction. I pulled up my notes for that video, but just to go over it real quick. So first, you need to read a couple flash fiction pieces for research. So see what you like about them, what you don't like about them. Are the endings satisfactory? Do you feel unearned or tacked on? Like, see what you like. Get a prompt. So it can be from an anthology's theme that you want to submit to. It could be a random prompt. It might be a list of words that you have to include if you want to get super challenging. And then you start. what I do is I stare at it for 1 minute. I'm very time oriented on these. So I see what are the obvious ways that I can include the words that have to be included from the prompt if there are some. I want to see if there is any given jumping off point that is obvious to me, any ones that are less obvious that I would rather go for. And then I set either a timer for 30 minutes or I'll do 2 20-minute sprints and write the whole thing then. So I can either go with, like, sometimes my prompt is a painting, whether it's Goya, whether it's Bluesky. I can't pronounce his name, but he's known as the Nightmare Artist. He's really, really cool. So I'll have the
painting sounds pretty
up.
dope. I need to figure out who that is.
Yeah. And then I'll stare at that. I'll listen to some ambient noise, things like that, and I'll write the story. Let's see. When I start writing, the first vague inklings of the main character come to mind. Don't overthink it. Once you're halfway through, just keep it. Let's see. If halfway through you have an idea for a different main character, write another flash after this one to explore the other story. Just keep going. Let's see. Opening line sets the tone, the promise. Many of us use the must include words as early as possible, just to get them out of the way.
Makes sense.
Yeah. If you hit a snag halfway through, switch genre. So just keep having fun. Set up the world to behave one way, make it break reality in the end if you can. Give a reader hope, then tear it away. Let's see.
I always love doing that.
Oh, yeah. Set up the status quo of the world and with a sentence or two, insight into the story, and race along to the finale. Curtail your story to fit with the timer. So when there's about 6 minutes left before your timer ends, you better be in the climax of your story. So make that car turn into the climax. Let's see. This forces you to go with your first thoughts and not overthink it. You should be having fun.
That's what I do all the time.
Yeah, it's okay to pull from your favorite things, what are laying the groundwork quickly, so known characters, fan fiction can make its way into the story. That's okay. You can file off serial numbers later. This is just your first draft. Make sure the last sentence packs a punch. Maybe recall the opening imagery, but recontextualize it. It can be a short, punchy sentence, maybe end with a realization, a death, or something dramatic. Experiment. You won't break your story if you try and experiment. It's okay. Maybe try using second POV.
That's always fun.
Those are my favorite.
Yeah. Use onomatopoeia, countdowns. Just experiment. You're not committing to a full-on novel, so don't sweat it. If it doesn't work, just try a different one. You've only used up 30-40 minutes. So
you got all these videos and all this in your blog, or do you have like a YouTube page, or do you have it all?
Yeah.
See, we're going to have to make sure everyone gets that information, because I think that's
really I'll have links in the description for sure.
Because that's one of those areas of fiction that I find tricky. I like to air a story out as much as I can, even though I do short stories and short film. But I still like to air things out a little bit to condense everything into like 100 words. Blows my mind. So I'll be looking at that myself, and you guys at home should be doing the same.
LauraNettles.com, also Laura Nettles on YouTube. So I'll have links in the description for her. You'll learn a lot about short fiction, especially with horror, and I would love to go into some of your more recent projects, which were long form. We'll get into that a little later, I think.
Okay.
When crafting horror, what comes first for you? The image, the emotion, or the twist?
So I have aphantasia, so I don't see in my brain when I'm reading or writing.
Oh.
Yeah. So
That's a whole different episode. I can explore that. Like that's a whole different episode. I can go down a rabbit hole. That
So
fascinates me.
basically, what I do is I write what I wish I could see. So it usually starts with a description of something that would invoke the feeling I want to explore in the short piece. So whether it is the description of the manor on the grounds of where the crows are cawing, and it's the herald of a family curse coming to fruition, is the last descendant of the line, and he's trying to find out how he can break the curse, kind of thing. So I will set up the dread with the imagery of what I wish I could see.
Ah,
I like that.
that's
That's so fascinating because I am
right what you want to see in the world, kind of.
And that's a great, that in itself is a great line, despite like hold on to that. That's a good one. But like for me, I work the literal exact opposite. I have like two visual trains of my of thought in my brain. I let one explore the idea while the other one is watching the first one, and I write down what I see. And
Nice.
so like that is, I think what you said, just that simple line of I write what I wish I could see is such a powerful line. I don't even think you intended it to be, but it's a great piece of advice for any writer who doesn't know what their world should look like. Well, write down what you wish it did, what you want it to be, what your character wants it to be. Write that down. At the very least, if that's not page one of your story, that's a great page one of your story Bible. And story Bibles is a whole other, that's a show in of itself. We can't go into that's way so much to talk about when it comes to story Bibles, but have sets of notes separate from your story. That's a great way to at least set up that line of notes, in my opinion. Based on what that was a great line. Put that on a t-shirt or something.
Yeah, so character comes last for me. Usually I am totally pantsing in discovery writing my short stuff. And for my longer form, I have tried a few different ways. I totally pants my first draft of Crimson Strings, which are vampires in the 90s. And then I actually did like a whole plot embryo, which is the hero's journey with the internal false belief that they need to flip around, what the known world is and the unknown. So like I did that for my first YA sci-fi, and then that book is permanently shelved. So like just try and see what works for you. Like whether you need a full-on story Bible before you start drafting, or whether you build your story Bible as you draft, or whether you need to just full-on pants it and reverse outline afterwards and figure out what slipped in there, what you like, what needs to be deep dove into more to help develop and solidify everything. So I've tried a few different ways, but yeah, sometimes it's just different project to project. Sometimes your process will change over time. It's not always guaranteed to work. Just have fun.
Yeah, experiment a little bit, you know.
Writing is not a monolith. There's no one way to write anything. So if you're out there and someone tells you, well, you don't write like I do, ignore that person's existence. You don't need that kind of negativity in your life. Write what works for you. Write the method that works for you. If you learn anything out of anything, write that. Write what works for you. It's going to be different. The three of us, I guarantee, we write differently.
Yes, for sure.
It's just it's how writing works.
When crafting horror, I would suggest to read a lot, watch a lot, like soak it in, see what's already been done, see what you can put a twist on, see what speaks to you, find out what subgenres just don't do it for you. And fun.
And then just don't do them.
Exactly.
Stay away from them. If you don't enjoy watching it or reading it, just ignore it altogether.
Ignore it altogether. Yeah. But try it first before you write it off.
I mean, yeah, write it, read it,
Get a flash
or
fiction.
read it or watch it. Yeah, definitely. But like, I think if you absolutely hate zombies, don't write zombies. Like if
Don't
you
write
watch
zombies.
zombies, and you're like, zombies are stupid, which are totally dope. You just gotta pick out the fast ones and the slow ones. Because that's a whole different story.
That's
zombie
a
versus
whole
slow
different
zombie.
argument. Yeah.
Yeah, The Walking Dead versus World War Z, two different. Those are that's you can't build the worlds the same for those. I digress. If you find something you like and you don't like, ignore the things you don't like.
Yeah,
Leave it
and
for the people who like it.
pull aspects that you do like, mush them together, come up
Yeah.
with your own, like pull from your life if you want to. Just pull from things. You don't have to invent the wheel every single time.
Yeah, it's fine. Like just write,
Mhm.
just write.
Do you approach writing a gothic story differently than like a cosmic or a psychological one? Or do you find that them blending together naturally?
For me, a lot of times the psychological and the gothic blend a ton, because the supernatural, if you have supernatural elements in your gothic, those are definitely playing havoc on the psychological state of your characters.
Okay.
So it's a lot of push and pull of, do you want the reader to know for sure if it's spooks or if it's just in their mind? So like, do you want it to be veiled in mystery by the end, or do you want to offer a concrete, this was a haunting kind of thing? So like, you can push and pull with that on what direction you want to go. For my cosmic, I think I pull more from my mental history. Like, so I have borderline psychosis and a bunch of other stuff. So like, I have had hallucinations my whole life. So I pull some of those into more of my cosmic rather than my gothic.
Oh, that's fascinating. Actually, in a couple of weeks, we go into mental health in horror.
Mhm.
And that is a really good point, is bringing your mental health into your horror.
Yeah.
And I'll flesh that out a little bit.
Cool.
Yeah, I always agree. I agree that like for me, the best prompts that I've had are based on my own fears.
Mhm.
So whatever, and I have paranoia. I'm paranoid about everything. So I have a lot of fears that pop up all the time, and it's one of those like things worked out when you turned left. So what happens when you turn right? What
Yeah.
happens if the thing that that thing didn't happen? What if it did?
What if it did?
And in fiction, I think it's really good for when you are dealing with mental health to have an avenue to, especially something like paranoia or something in that loose vein, that you can explore it in a fictional way, because then you can get out all your fears. It's kind of like journaling. You can get out all your fears. You can get out all those crazy thoughts that are locked in your head that you're kind of scared to get out. And what if someone reads this? It's like, that's not what DeJuan's thinking. That's what Kyle is thinking. My character Kyle thought that, not me.
Yeah.
That didn't happen to me. That happened to Rebecca. It happened to Rebecca. It didn't happen to me. It happened to Rebecca. It's fine. It happened to Rebecca's kids, not my kids. I don't have to worry about it. And you can kind of piece that off together, and it's really good. Horror is great therapy.
Horror is great
People may not
therapy.
understand that. Like, we really do kind of need to go into that in more detail in a separate episode, but horror is fantastic therapy.
You can explore the worst case scenarios that could have happened, and you're still safe in your chair.
Yeah,
You're okay.
That's the best part of horror, because the craziest things can happen on screen. The craziest things can happen in a book, and there's always a pause. On a movie, you can always close the book, and you're safe. You look around the room, and it's your four walls. It's fine. It's your sanctuary. You're in a safe place, and you can do whatever you got to do to come down from the mood, and then go back into it when you're in a better space. Like, horror is good for that.
Your collection, Tiny Shivers, spans 101 stories. Were there any Gothic pieces that surprised you as you wrote them?
Um,
I know that that's a loaded question, but
not per se. I think I had more fun with the Gothic. I just coming up with spookier descriptions like ravens that caw with lipless beaks kind of things, and like trees that reach to like barren trees that reach to the sky for salvation in a churchyard, this kind of thing. So just blending more of a some of them have more of a religious connotation in the description wise because it's taking place in a cemetery. So it's the whole churchyard and there's like unholy ground outside. So if you're buried out there, not so good for you. But just being able to play with a lot of not just that, but also like, do I want to go back to the Victorian era in my Gothic? Do I want to make it modern? I have a few in each. So I'll have like I'll explore like the Gothic, what's it called, theme of doppelganger in one of them. Like one of them is the like 6-year-old with his twin going down to the basement with a flashlight, and they open the rusty door and they hear from the voice inside the dark, "Mother never told you we were triplets," kind of thing. So like messing with the doppelganger type of thing. Like I love to watch YouTube video essays on delving into different aspects of Gothic horror, Gothic literature in general, what has been done since the Victorian times and beyond, and just try and tinker with different aspects of the Gothic that way. One of the anthologies I originally wrote a piece for, the theme was like it had to have a lot of fog at the estate, and so I did a lot of like the rolling bank of fog coming and pressing against the windows, and of course I set this one in Victorian era, and I was like, it'd be fun to have it be a wedding night, but the husband is a body snatcher to like keep the family fortune, so he's selling all these cadavers to the medical field. So let me do a little research. When were women allowed to inherit estates? What year was that in England? So like I went to the public library and I had a librarian help me search it up in these books, kind of thing, for certain aspects. And
that's so fun.
It is fun. Libraries are great places. Like one in
Libraries
Toronto,
are great places.
Yeah, the one in Toronto has certain rooms that you can rent, schedule for a couple hours, and you get a designated research librarian to help you the whole time you're there. Like, check out your
fascinating. Yeah,
That's
check
wild.
out your library.
And also,
it's amazing the services that you can get from your library. Libraries are so important to people who write books. It's so important to people who read books. They're so important to communities. They're great places. That's where I kept out of trouble. Didn't completely help, but I just got in trouble at the library. But there are so many resources that you may not realize your local library has, and somebody needs those resources. So the more you support your library, the more those resources, that even the ones you don't use, are available for other people. Yeah. And you may not know when you may need them. So go support your local library and all the programming they do and the resources that they have. Contribute to your library if it's a thing that that you can do. Support your local libraries.
Even also, just
you can do all kinds of things. You can rent movies in some. You can rent. Obviously you can check out books. You can
get the Libby app. Get the ebooks right from your phone.
Free.
The Libby app, also LinkedIn Learning. In my area, what used to be lynda.com became LinkedIn Learning, and we get a free account with a library card.
Ooh.
So check out your local library and see what they offer.
It's insane the resources that you can get from your local library. I'm so glad we're talking about this. Like there's so much. Libraries are so valuable to communities. When you start hearing about libraries closing, you should be concerned. That is not a political statement. That is just a general, overall community statement. You should be concerned when your libraries start to close. Support your local libraries.
Amen. One thing that the library did for me was I wrote a middle grade horror, and I was getting my query letter ready so I could try and get it traditionally published. I did not know any comparative titles, any comp titles to put in my query letter. So I called my library and I talked to a librarian. I'm like, hey, what have you got that's similar to this type of premise, this type of character, this type of scenario? And they gave me a list, and then I could just check out the books and read them for myself. Yes, this is a good comp title. This one doesn't quite fit. And I got my list of comp titles that way, and it was very helpful.
Huh.
I'll
have to implement that. Yeah.
I would have never thought to do that. That's, again, the resources that people think that you just go there to check out books. It's not everything that's not everything a library does.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much that you can get from your library. Support your local libraries.
Yeah. So that's how I found Stitchers. That's how I found a bunch of these middle grade horror books that are now permanently on my shelf because I love them. So, yeah.
That's wonderful. Gothic horror often explores grief, decay, and the past. What emotional truths do you think the genre reveals better than others?
I think it has a great way of exploring grief and melancholy. So whether it is somebody who may be a vampire that has been alive for 1,000 years, seen the world come and go, and found love, lost love over and over again, and dealing with the grief. So it's like our own grief, but compounded and made even bigger because it's over so many more years. It lets us get a little bit of a distance between our problems and the characters' problems. So we can give them some of our problems, but we have a little bit more of a distant lens, so we're more mentally safe from it. But it's so good at exploring that. I have a novel idea. It's called Veins of Decay. It is about these two vampire guys who were turned by this vampiress who wanted she liked them, and so she turned them to keep as her playthings. And the two guys realize it's an abusive relationship, off her, and go on the run. And turns out the vampire society is like, you can't kill one of our own, so now they're under house arrest. And as their mental state falls into decay, because not only are they stuck in the house that they were abused in and that they murdered their sire in, the ghosts of the victims that they have drunk from are wandering the halls. So the ghosts of their past are literally present. And so as the house falls into decay, so does their mental state. And so there's wonderful back and forth of the environment being an expression of their internal state is a great symbiosis going on. So I love the Gothic.
That sounds so fun. Many Gothic protagonists are isolated or haunted. What role does personal vulnerability play in your horror writing?
So, let's see. My personal vulnerability, I think, more is being able to try and confront my repressed religious upbringing. And just being like, it's okay to have these feelings about someone of the same gender. It's okay. But your family, certain members of your family, may see it as a perversion, may see it as monstrous, but it's okay to explore it on the page, even before you're ready to explore it physically in real life. So it's a way to not just like journal, but like actually explore, see what your mind comes up with, and just if your parents' viewpoint is like still very present in your mind, sure, your story can go in a very dark and tragic ending, but it's part of your healing process. And so being able to see how these relationships would play out and be like, what's the worst that could happen? And still be like, I'm okay. And eventually coming to terms as you are exploring these characters and connecting with these characters, being like, they're not completely monstrous. There are good aspects to them, just like every other human in existence. There are good aspects of you. There are less good aspects of you. There are shadow selves, like type of thing going on. And so just being able to explore that dynamic and come to terms with being able to accept yourself, both sides of yourself, and just being able to, just explore it.
Yeah, again, using horror as therapy in a lot of ways.
It's the best therapy there is. It truly is. Because the one thing that, and I'll briefly speak for myself, the one thing that made me, as I was going on a journey at one point, I came to terms with, I'm not always a good person, and that's okay. Sometimes I have a mean thought, and that's okay. And accepting that I, as a person, like any coin, have two sides. And it's the same coin, and the coin still has value. The quarter still, the head side or the tail side is still worth 25 cents.
Exactly.
It doesn't change. So you can come to terms, you can embrace both the heads and tails of your own coin and realize that you still have just as much value. So
yeah, like you may take your thought to an extreme. So
because fiction,
I have good thoughts and bad thoughts, and go to Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde extreme. But it's still worth an exploration. You're still a human. You are worth a human. So
right.
Like it's just a great way to explore themes and ideas and amp it up if you want. Or
what does amping up mean to you? Yeah.
True. Yeah. Because sometimes amping up could be taking the mood very low down. And, sometimes you can explore these crazy extremes over here. Like, okay, I don't want to actually murder my entire family. But this character might. Or it's like, I am afraid of how dark things can get.
Yes.
But if I write it out on paper, when I put the pen down, I'm still safe. So you can explore any of those extremes, like whatever amping up the feeling might mean. Like Sako said, horror gives us a great space to explore all of that. And I think that's a lesson that more people need to embrace.
You can also amp up your fears of the direction society may be going, wherever you're at, and showcase if things continue this way, if they snowball, this could be our future. So it's not just thoughts about ourselves personally, but it could be thoughts about the world. It could be thoughts about anything.
And fiction has done that.
Yeah.
Fiction has done that forever. Some of my favorite books are 1984, Fahrenheit 451. That's Animal Farm. I didn't actually read Animal Farm, but I know the gist of it. All of these are classics in fiction that explored the worst that could happen. The extremes of things, amped up, as we say.
So I have 5 rapid fire questions that I would love to run you through that are Gothic horror themed, and it's this or that sort of, like off the top of your head sort of answers that I'm looking for. So, number 1, would you rather view horror in total silence or with a storm raging outside?
Storm raging, absolutely. I
Do
always
you-
have a storm ambience going when I read.
Oh, that's wonderful. I do something similar. I have the fire going in the background, like as we speak.
Mhm.
But I was sleeping to like, storms outside and fire burning and whatnot last night. Do you prefer haunted houses where you can't leave or a cursed object that you can't throw away?
Probably a haunted house.
Which creeps you out more, mirrors or dolls?
Mirrors?
Ooh.
It's an interesting response.
See yourself from a perspective that's not quite right.
Ooh. Which would you spend the night in a crumbling Gothic castle or deep underground in a forgotten crypt?
Castle.
Do you like horror with jump scares or a slow chill that lingers?
Slow chill that lingers.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So for our audience, which Gothic nightmare would you choose? One night in a haunted castle with restless spirits or being trapped with a cursed object that won't let you go? Tell us in the comments.
It's right down there. You can do it right there.
Yeah. So today we were visited by horror author Laura Nettles. Thank you for joining us and bestowing your wisdom upon us. It was wonderful. So, what movie would you recommend that we review on Tuesday? You are, of course, welcome to join us if you want.
I have work on Tuesday, unfortunately.
And we
Wednesday.
will watch it in your honor.
We will watch it in your honor.
Okay.
We did mention Sinners before.
Okay. I think I'll go with more of a slow burn horror that I watch every year.
Okay. This is October now. This is October.
It is. I watch it every October. Let me see if I can find it on my shelf. Where'd it go?
Oh, and I might just have to hunker down and watch Sinners.
Yeah, me too.
And maybe we'll come back and we'll talk about it. I don't know, man. You know what I'll do? I will do. No, I can't do it yet. I was going to say I was going to do movie commentary on Bluesky for Sinners, but I got a list I'm obligated to do first before I get back to Sinners.
Well, I don't see it readily available on my shelf, but I have the old version of it. So this is Nosferatu, the old classic.
Ah.
The one I'm recommending is the remake of this from Germany from the 70s.
Ooh,
So it's
70s version.
It's the Klaus Kinski, Werner Herzog Nosferatu. I've never seen so many real-life rats in a movie at once in my life.
Wow. Okay.
Do you know if that's streaming somewhere?
I have no idea. I have it on disc.
We will hunt it down. I'm sure Tubi will make it.
I'm sure
available.
Tubi has it because Tubi has literally everything. Hey, Tubi, feel free to sponsor us. If we, for whatever reason, cannot find that movie, I will default to Sinners.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, it's called Nosferatu the Vampire, 1979.
Okay. I have it written down. I am excited to scope it out.
Awesome. The German title is Nosferatu Phantom der Nacht. So most of the actors were bilingual. So they filmed it simultaneously in English and in German. So you can watch either version.
Interesting.
Yeah. I enjoy the German one slightly more because Renfield's maniacal laughter is more maniacal in the German takes.
It is streaming on Prime Video.
Oh.
All right, let's look it up.
Werner Herzog.
Here we go.
Super excited. Okay.
Hi, Roy.
Don't wait for the show.
It's also on Tubi.
Of course it's on, because everything's on Tubi. You know, this is
Yeah.
gonna be like a running gag now. I'm gonna watch everything on Tubi. Just because it's for the bit now.
It's for the bit now.
Until Tubi wants to sponsor us. So hey, if you're watching this, find Tubi somewhere and tell them there's a podcast that keeps reviewing movies off their channel, and they would love support.
So just so you know, it's a very slow movie because it's run by a dog. But
if it's intended to be that way and it
Mhm.
helps with the story, then it's fine, because we do have a grading system, and that pacing is an
Pacing is
element.
the thing.
It's
Yeah.
an element. So, and we are critical on film. We are critical. So,
Okay, so next week we'll be discussing Horror for Scaredy Cats with Nicole Ford Thomas, who is the author of Spellbound.
yes.
Let's see, where can we find you on the internet, Laura?
well,
These days.
I've been working a ton.
Aw,
I've been uploading anywhere lately.
You still have LauraNettles.com.
Yeah.
LauraNettles.com, also on YouTube with all kinds of a backlog.
Yeah.
There's nothing
You
new
know.
there. There's so much stuff there that you guys can go back and look at. Like, remember, we talked about Flash Fiction. If you've been interested,
There's over
the
500
tools.
videos on there.
She's got tools. There's plenty for you. There's plenty for you to watch and introduce yourself to her before she posts anything new. She's got time. She's got time. You got a lot to get through. Just explore her YouTube, subscribe to it, like some videos, watch them through.
I even have a class video on how to submit your short pieces once you've written them. So
yeah, what to do with it when you're done. Yeah.
That's the most important question. What do you do with it? I mean, I'm in the middle of that right now. So I have like a million projects I need to get through first.
Got a lot of resources in that description box of where to find open calls. So yeah.
So guys, that's where you guys need to go. You need to find her website, find her YouTube, subscribe to her channel, watch her videos, make sure you like them and comment. Same thing you're going to do to our channel right now. You're going to subscribe to Sako and the Moon. You're going to like this video, maybe even like save it so you can come back and get all the references that Laura made earlier. So go ahead and save this video. Do all the things. Put it on your list. Comment, say hello. We'll make sure she gets them. It's fine. It's fine. Do all the things here and then do all the things there.
Thank you.
Be doers of things.
Thanks for sticking it out to the end, guys. You are family. We love you. You can contact us at Sako and the Moon podcast at gmail.com. And we will see you guys next week.
Bye.
Do that jiggy thing.